Good evening, one and all. First of all, I would like to welcome our beloved principal, Captain Dr. S. Santosh Babu, sir, who has come over here for this colloquium. Welcome you, sir. And I would like to extend my gratitude to Mr. Lakshman Charan, who has come over here to deliver a topic on future of cloud-based CRM. And thank you, sir. Once again, I welcome you all people on behalf of my dear staff members and my dear students of BSc Computer Science for this colloquium. Welcome you all people once again.
Thank you.
And I request our principal, Dr. S. Santosh Babu sir, to deliver a few points about this colloquium. Please, sir.
Good evening, one and all present here. We have a excellent resource person to speak about the cloud-based CRM. And also, I like to congratulate the computer science department and the team for organizing this colloquium for in the name of cloud-based CRM. The cloud-based CRM is very important, to which a CRM software hosted on the cloud can be accessed from any device. So in the present scenario, when we are traveling any place, if you want a data or any information, that has to be received or that has to be stored immediately. That is the purpose. And in most of the case, they started giving a cloud service. For example, when you buy a mobile or when you buy a system, the manufacturer itself is providing a cloud space for storing the data relevant to the particular application. And a cloud-based system is different from traditional on-premises CRM in many ways. The traditional one are complex in architecture and it will take a lot of things, but in cloud-based, where we can store the data remotely in a secured manner. And there is another story about how the cloud is maintained, how the security features is done in say for making the data secure or these services. And also that like how we have an hard disk. Previously, you want to store the data, you want to store in a hard disk. It's visible to us. But in a cloud, is same hard disk, what are the services it can provide service to us that will be done by the cloud-based environment. But combination of both storage and the software, like the management system. It will have its own management system for storage and retrieval of data, security purpose, security will be done, all these things will be done. So today you are going to have a detailed discussion about this by our expert. Definitely people will be enjoying the lecture today. All these lectures are very important for the students and other people because here the classroom teaching will not help anybody to learn or acquire knowledge. Only this type of seminars and conferences can help the students to learn beyond the class. So once again, I congratulate for Dr. to the science department.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful introduction, sir. Now I request Mr. Girish, Vice President of Student Forum, to proceed
Yes,
with.
ma'am. Thank you. Good evening to one and all present here. I am C. Girish Kumar, Vice President of TranscodeForum-DGVC Computer Science. I am very glad to invite you all for this today's colloquium, which is conducted by our department. I welcome our beloved principal, Dr. Captain S. Santosh Babu sir. On behalf of the Computer Science Department, I thank you for accepting our request to conduct this colloquium this evening. I am also very glad to invite our resource person, Mr. N.V. Lakshmanan Charan sir, who is here to give a small brief about the future of the cloud based on CRM. Let me tell you a few things about him. Mr. N.V. Lakshmanan Charan is an energetic, self-motivated IT professional with over 11 years of experience in IT industry, in which over 7 years of experience as our Salesforce CRM. He has placed various roles such as team lead, project lead, deployment managers in IT sectors. Started his career as an application engineer, then constantly upgraded his knowledge to profile to analyst, solution specialist, team lead, and currently he is working as a CRM manager in Exler Technologies, which is in Chennai. We are very happy to have you here, sir, and we are very eager and excited to know about how CRM helps in cloud computing. Hope you guys enjoy this session and get benefited out of it. I'm also very happy to welcome our head in charge faculty members, forum committee members, and our beloved students and participants. Thank you.
Thank you,
Sir,
Girish.
now you can proceed, sir.
Lakshman Charan, sir, please.
All right. I'm sharing my screen. Let me know if you're able to see the screen.
Yes, sir, please.
All right. So thank you for the quick intro. And all right. You're able to see the screen, right?
Yes.
No, sir.
Okay. All right. One moment. Are you able to now?
Yes, sir. Yes, it's
All
visible.
right. Right. So thank you, the principal sir, ma'am, and the student coordinator Girish for the quick follow-up and a very good introduction. Thank you. So getting started. So today we are for the next half an hour to 40 minutes. We are solely going to discuss about Salesforce CRM and why it is called as the future of the cloud-based CRMs. So yeah, getting started. So first of all, probably Principal Sir has already given an introduction. What is CRM? First of all, why do organizations need CRM? CRM, the acronym stands for Customer Relationship Management. Every organizations have different functions like finance, accounts, human resources. So in the same way, they need to keep track of their customers' data, the customer touch point, what can be sold to the customer, what they have already sold, what is still in the pipeline, what could they upsell to him, what should they cross sell to him. So how can they increase their business? So we can also have complex algorithms which will suggest what products or services to be sold or can be sold to a customer. So the complete storehouse of data and retrieving it and taking decisions based on the data, the complete package itself is called as a CRM. Then comes the next question: why cloud-based CRMs? So traditionally, when we started off in our careers, everything was to be on-premise. You used to buy a server, you need to buy the platform, you need to install the software, take care of the maintenance of the system, its security, and then make sure that the backups are taken at regular intervals. With the introduction of cloud-based CRMs, all these are going to the back burner. There comes flexibility, there comes security, there comes ease of installations, there comes ease of use, there is round-the-clock support, and there are three or more releases in per annum, and continuous product enhancements, release features. So with that amount of flexibility and price features, this is going to be a differentiator. This has been in the market for 20 years, and if it is still ruling the market, you could understand. There are plenty of cloud-based CRMs in the market, but when it comes to the Salesforce market share, it is like close to 25%, 23 to 25%, if my numbers are right. So that is where they start. We have other big wigs in the market: SAP, Microsoft, Oracle. They are competing with the best of the best. And that answers my next question: why Salesforce, for its amount of flexibility and the ease of use and the business profits and adoption of the Salesforce by the team members coming from other CRM backgrounds. It's been close to 28% faster rate of adoption and 35% more profits. That is what the industry claims. So that's the reason CRM is going at cloud-based CRMs are growing, and predominantly Salesforce is making a mark in the market. So moving on to the next slide. So I would just like to give you a heads up, going into a bit technical, just kind of the architecture, like what does it look like? we have different clouds. We have sales, we have service, we have marketing, work, and App Exchange apps, which is the open marketplace. So all these are built on the Force.com platform. All these clouds are known as the software as a service, where the users go on pay as a model, pay per user or pay as a service. They go on a licensing model. So all these are built on the Force.com, which is the platform which the Salesforce offer as a platform. On they are built on this. On below that is the database.com, where where the management of data because happens here. The even we have metadata, which is data about data. So everything is stored in the database.com. So this is an overview. I think the PPT can be shared with the students later, and definitely for everything is available over the internet. So what happens is we have different backend systems. We have data coming from different sources being pushed into Salesforce, and this acts as one single point of contact, as one repository for all the different data which are brought from different sources. And based on once this data has been streamlined, businesses would be able to take decisions based on the data available at one single point. They will be able to generate reports on the data generated from different systems when pushed into Salesforce, and which makes more business sense and brings in more revenue. So that's the bottom line at the end of the day. So, and if you see to the left of the architecture diagram, we have secondary sources of data which people would be able to pull up from social networks like your Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, other secondary sources of data. When you call it in the marketing terms, primary sources is what the companies collected from their customers through any means of research methodology. But they have predominantly the decision making and pushing of data into the system is happening through the secondary sources of data. All right, that's a quick overview of the Salesforce architecture. And then comes the question of why, when there are shared resources and there are specific resources, limited resources on the cloud, how would I be able to make sure that everyone in the cloud is able to get those resources uh, equally, so that no one person dominates the other one. Let us assume a flat where there are around, if you could see the right side of the screen, there is an apartment, and on the left side of the screen, there is a single storied building. So imagine a waterhead tank where there is a waterhead tank on the single story building, where only one user uses the complete 1000 liters water tank. And imagine the same water tank put on the apartment, and each apartment is given a regulator that they would not use more than 100 liters. After 100 liters, after 100 liters of water consumption, they are put an automatic call that, what do you call that, a cutoff thing. So what would happen at that time? They would everybody's resources, if there are 10 apartments, 100 liters would be shared from a 1000-liter tank. That is called there, where Salesforce is putting the limits called as the governor limits, so that everybody has equal space and equal usage of the resources available on the cloud, rather than one of the tenants occupying or predominantly dominating the other ones. That is, there are limits adopted and influenced by Salesforce, which would make sure that there is always optimal utilization of the available resources. So that's coming to multi-tenancy. So, like going a bit deeper. So what is the architecture? Like, how do we view data in Salesforce? How do we what does the model actually display? What does it do? So typically it is called as the MVC. So model, view, and controller. So what is the model is? Model defines actually what should be present, how it should be presented, what is the structure, what would define the structure? So the model actually has the model, actually you can call it as the core that would define your system. So what is it built to do? So then comes the view part. View is your UI part. So what is happening here? What is happening here is the pages. How should the user communicate? How should be the page design? What are the components used to be displayed? If it is in Lightning, how, which kind of users should see what data? How should I restrict data based on different security settings available in Salesforce? That comes in the view part. And then comes the controller part. How the data flows, how is the data is being flowed? How is the data being flowed between the model and the view? Like what am I using to control? You have custom Apex controller, you have standard controllers. So what should happen? How should the data flow in between these components? So that is where the controller part comes into play. A class within each class would have a controller class which would define the flow of data between these components. So yeah, and one more thing, please feel free to interrupt me in between. It is not it, I would love it to be more interactive. It's not like it's like a one-way traffic. You're always feel free. I would give this recommendation to the organizer so that people can always stop in between and we can take questions in between. All right, Girish, is that fine, or you wanted it to be finished till the end and then come back? All right, moving to the next slide. So as we were discussing earlier, so what makes Salesforce stand out of the crowd? Why does it make such a big impact? Why so many CRM professionals are shifting? Mainframe professionals, Sugar CRM, other CRM professionals are shifting to Salesforce, .NET, Java developers. Why is that? Because when it comes to Salesforce, the customer success rate is at 93%, who wanted to continue with the system once they've adopted the software. Next comes the security aspect. Why many people feel, even today in banking industry, people have not completely moved to cloud. That is one industry where security is a major point of concern. But apart from that, if you take healthcare, retail, commerce, sales, security, service, all other industries have gone to this to the cloud-based model. Security, if you take, they are very secure. They are PCI DSS compliant. They have ISO compliant, and there are what are the major security standards put before them? They have all compiled them, and data is secure, and they take backup of the data. There is data redundancy in the servers, and they also provide a service for our backup and restore. Off late from last July, I suppose, they have stopped taking giving backup, since it is quite a burden on them. So people are trying to build their own backup and restore mechanisms. That's one thing. So, and the next point comes metadata, which we are talking about. Metadata is a term used in Salesforce. It's kind of a jargon, I can say. It's the data about data, like the complete your settings or your data, your organizational structure, your company profile, your classes, your triggers, or whatever you do call it, whatever you use it to build your components, your integrations, classes, or whatever it is. Everything is stored in the metadata. This metadata, before we were using Salesforce, before we were using Eclipse, now we are using the Visual Studio. We can take a quick backup of the metadata and restore this metadata in a different sandbox or an org setup, where you would have that complete setting which you are seeing in a production or a UAT environment, to try to replicate an issue somewhere. If you're trying to debug something, or if you're trying to wanted the exact production environment or that kind of setting to replicate for an issue for a particular kind of user, or if you're trying to set up a new environment completely for training purpose, whatever may be the reason, or to just to take a backup of your org settings, you have metadata. This metadata is quite crucial because that defines the security settings, that defines your complete org structure, what is happening, that has your core business logic and everything underneath the hood. So that's what metadata is. And one other solid reason is your rapid application development. If you get the license and you move your org to Salesforce from some other CRM, so you would have plenty of customization, because it is not like one size fits all when it comes to these kind of softwares. There would be application customization to a granular level, a very micro level, which makes it more interesting, which makes it very business specific, which makes it very industry specific. And with the amount of customization and application development support available around the clock, and with the thriving community of trailblazers, or the success the Salesforce or the help community which is available, and the plenty of blogs which are available, this is making it more interesting and challenging, because the different editions, the different kinds of integrations, and the different kinds of challenges when it comes to facing the governor limits, or other Salesforce enforced uh, limits. So this application development is quite a challenging thing and interesting, and is quite sought after in the market. So suppose if you require a solution and that is already available in the market, we need not spend time building it from scratch. That is where App Exchange comes into play. That's the next point. That's the next point. Open ecosystem. Just like our app, if plenty of Android users would be there on this forum, you go to Play Store, or if an iOS store, you go for iOS, you have the App Store. So you get apps from there. Instead of you developing an app and putting it there on using it the APK file, the same function, the same functionality, somebody has already developed and just put it on the App Exchange. So you would be able to purchase it over there and integrate with your system, and get your business solved. It can one example from my experience would be the CPQ side. Salesforce has acquired SteelBrick CPQ before people were integrating it with the IBM Sterling Code CPQ or the Zora Code CPQ, AppTest CPQ. So CPQ is nothing but your configure price code, which is basically, to put it in very plain terms, it would be your billing and costing mechanism and the code generation mechanism for your customers. So that's the advantage of being in an open ecosystem. And then comes the last thing, it is a complete CRM. So what do I mean by a complete CRM? So it has everything, from under the hood. If at all I wanted to do integration, Salesforce has recently acquired MuleSoft. If at all I wanted to display my data from the Salesforce, I have Tableau which can be integrated. And if at all I am using my marketing cloud, I have Padot, which is already integrated into Salesforce, which is a very tight integration. So instead of going for different softwares, I can buy one CRM, and based on my requirement and the kind of industry I am in, I would be able to customize it to an extent that it suits all my business needs, right by sitting on the hood. I would be able to do, if it's for marketing, I can do. If it's for a healthcare, if I'm in the healthcare industry, I would be able to purchase a health cloud. Then if it's I'm in service, I would be able to purchase a service cloud. So there are different clouds. And recently we have commerce cloud. We have retail. We have applications for retail. Why I would say this complete CRM is, it gives you so much flexibility and so many products which are very easy to integrate, and would it make it stand out in the crowd, which will make your adoption much easier and thereby increasing your bottom line. So that's why we would call it as the complete CRM. So moving to the next slide. So what would be the road ahead? So what is the road ahead? So why we are stressing it so much for the freshers? Why are we sitting here on a weekend and discussing the potential this tool has got and what changes it can make to your career? So everybody says it is promising. Yes, you can. It's from the internet, and you can go right after this session, Google it, and see the amount of job market. You can see the salaries in the market. You can see that if by 2022 there would be 3.3 million new jobs, and if you're willing to move abroad, you can just go to seek.au in Australia or in Canada and see the amount of Salesforce jobs in the United States. So, so if you need to back them, you need to be really sharp. You need to get your certifications done. You need to stand out. You need some amount of experience along with the certifications. Start looking out for freelance projects, connect with people in the industry, speak to more people, uh, uh, try to do more. You can log in, get your org set up, learn more things, and then you would be able to make a mark in your interviews. uh, yeah, and the next projection is 4.2 million jobs by 2024. So yes, this is my slide. So what would excite you? So you may think that CRM may not be is my cup of tea, or I may not be so interested in going for CRM. Okay, in that scenario, you can learn the basics of CRM, and if you say that future lies in something called as analytics or visualization, something related to data, mobile or cloud, we have everything integrated for you here. From the data in Salesforce, there is a tool called as the Einstein Analytics, which they are using it for prediction builder and for opportunity scoring. That would tell the success rate of the conversion rate, whether that opportunity will be successful, or will that customer, will we gain that customer, is that deal successful. All this prediction analytics forecasting is tightly integrated into Salesforce, and we have tools working wonders for companies. You can just after the session go ahead and Google for Salesforce Einstein Analytics. So you would have the answers for yourselves, and you would definitely come back to me for asking for more. So Salesforce and IoT, so Internet of Things. So yeah, then even we have integration for that, where in the CRM space they have integrated with IoT. And for as I was telling earlier, Tableau data visualization, when we are talking about the millions of records and from different sources, where we have used ETL tools to push in data into the same server, same software, so that everything is in one place. We need to try to visualize the data. Only numbers may not work wonders every time. For your top management, you may need to put the data in a visual format. For that, you can use Tableau. And for Salesforce mobile, yes, we have the Salesforce mobile app. Previously, it was called the Salesforce One. Now it is the Salesforce Mobile. So yeah, there what happens is whatever you can do, what data you can access on your laptop or your desktop can also be used on your tablet, uh, or your Android or your iOS device. For any matter, you would have data on the go. Suppose you are a marketing person and you wanted your customer data in the blink of an eye when you're at your customer's doorstep. Yes, you can get this done for this use case. You can get the data on your mobile. So that's for Salesforce Mobile. And as I was telling about App Exchange and the ability to integrate Salesforce to different softwares will make it more interesting, more challenging. And I think that is where there would be a lot of learning when you do integration, when you are making the data from your system pass on to the next system, and there is a handshake between both the systems, and there is a two-way integration between both the systems, where data from the other system is also flowing into Salesforce. That's what makes it more interesting, and where they are tightly linked. So this may sound, this may be going over your head at this point of time, but once when you start get going, learning about APIs and integration, REST and SOAP APIs, so you would appreciate, you would relate to me. I may cross your mind at that point of time. All right. So yeah, now the next question. So yes, this seems promising to me, but where do I get started? How do I get started? Trailhead is the official learning channel for the Salesforce, where they literally spoon feed you. They have trials for each and everything for getting started for freshers. You can create your own or your own environment, try to play around with the system, try to learn, try to get the look and feel of the software. Everything is free. Most important thing is it's free and it's open, and you have a thriving community to support. You can post your answers in the community, the Thailand community, and people will come back to you responding. And next comes your Salesforce help and success community. That is what I was saying. People will come to you, people will help you, and there are plenty of YouTube channels, YouTube videos, which would make learning a cakewalk for you. Only thing is you need to spend your time and energy, not even money, to learn things. And there are blogs, there are MVCs, there are architects who have blogs, who would definitely bring in a wealth of information from their real-time experience. There are online courses. You can go to Udemy, Pluralsight, or whatever. You type Salesforce courses, and you would have 101 results coming one after the other. Choose one thing and get started. And I would definitely say that your career looks promising from now. Next thing, coming as we are dealing with the audience who are predominantly graduates or yet to be graduates. So where do I go? What's my career path? How do I choose my career path? There are plenty of career paths when it comes to the CRM Salesforce, in the market. You can be an administrator, you can be a developer. So administrator is like, now if you can listen to the recent podcasts or webinars, industry is moving towards the low code. Salesforce has something called as the low code love, where they wanted application to be designed and customized without or very minimal of coding. That is the trend which is catching up as of now. But yes, that would take some time, but it would be always good to have some amount of coding experience, because when you go and look at your application, you would be able to judge when you see the code what is happening, or when you see the logs, or when you see the error which is coming. So it would always give you an edge. You can be an administrator where you can click point and click configuration. Administrator also has a very major role in an organization, because he's the one who defines the security model. He's the one who will take care of the feature and release management. He's the one who will take care of the overall well-being of the system. So yeah, and next comes your developer, where he is involved in customizing based on the client needs. So then comes your architect role, which is not for beginners or anywhere between 3 to 5 years. It would take some amount of time and effort and experience before we reach this role, where you would be able to integrate with different systems, play around with the data, pass on with the data between the system. So that's for people at a later stage, definitely not for freshers. So you can take up the roles of a CRM business analyst, CRM QA manager, a sales manager, or sales cloud. If somebody is interested in sales, yes, you can be a sales cloud consultant. You can do a certification for an administrator, then a sales cloud consultant. You can drive sales of an organization instead of being technically inclined. Yes, you know how the system works. You know how you're managing sales. You are taking care of that thing. and then comes your marketing manager, where the email campaigns run. How do you do? How do you run the campaign? How do you get in more business? So there are plenty of, and there are many more, and there are many more when new softwares come into play, like a lot of options which come into play. Somebody wanted a CPQ specialist, somebody wanted a data specialist. So ETL plus Salesforce, and they wanted a QA engineer with automation experience who would like to automate Salesforce using Selenium or some other tool. And if I keep on going, the list is limitless. As the sky, somebody says the sky is the limit. There are plenty of options. Only thing is, you need to find out what would interest you, what would be your take home, where to make a career, how does that suit you? Because at the end of the day, when you come back to bed, you must be satisfied that you have achieved something. So get choose career path, speak to people, get guidance, do your research, then choose your career path. That's one thing I wanted to say to you. Yes, I have taken enough time, and I would like to open the floor for questions.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
So myself, Anand Narayan, I'm the secretary of BSc Computer Science Department.
Hi, Anand.
So there's a person asked, what is the difference between on-premise and cloud-based CRM?
On-premise, you have to invest in the infrastructure. You have to invest in the platform. On the cloud-based, they are giving you everything. You did not buy the server. You did not set up the platform. You did not or design the software. They are giving you the software. You need to just buy the license, log in, and get your things going.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. Okay, so the second question is, what are the impacts of machine learning on CRM?
Yes, there is plenty of impact, huge impact, I can say. Machine learning with deep learning algorithms and the amount of data which is available in the market today, there is going to be a huge impact, because even the analytics software designed by Salesforce, called as the Einstein Analytics, is based on deep learning and machine learning. So if you are able to do that with your data separately, that would definitely stand out. You would be able to make a mark on that.
Thank you so much, sir. So another person asked, how can I integrate with legacy systems?
You would be able to transform all the data from a legacy system to CRM, and then train your users, and and then make sure that your business is not disrupted due to this transition, and then keep the ball rolling.
Oh,
Not
that's nice.
transition everybody at once to the new CRM software. Do it in phases. Do it if there are 4 or 5 divisions in this thing. The transition plan has to be very clearly charted out, because business continuity is of utmost importance.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. And the last question is, does CRM has any effect on augmented reality and virtual reality? Like the world is moving towards AR and VR. So
Yes,
does
yes.
CRM has any effect on it?
Yes, obviously, CRM would have an effect on it, because when the industry is moving, or a new trend is being coming into the industry, it is because of the data which comes out of the CRM. So this is what the customers are. This is what the customers are willing for. This is the feedback from the customers. This is the amount of data which we have got from the customer. This is what the customers wanted. Based on that only, the decision is being taken. And when it comes to augmented reality and virtual reality, yes, in the media industry, the Salesforce CRM is playing a very huge role. They are in the future, they may also come up with a industry specific tool for them. So to put your answer in short, yes, but how means, even how would it make an impact? It would definitely make an impact in the when it comes to the gaming and virtual reality. Uh, um, it would definitely, I can say that it would make an impact in the near future, a big impact. But currently, as of now, I would say that they're in the form of getting their things right.
Thank you so much, sir. That was a wonderful session we had. We
Thank
understood
you.
what CRM and like now we are like knowledge about CRM. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lakshman Charan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks a lot for your wonderful session. And it's not been associated with IT professionals, but also related with the relation management, customer relation management. So definitely it would be a grateful session for all of the people who have been watching this. So
Sure, ma'am.
thanks a lot.
Pleasure. Pleasure, ma'am.
Lots of
Pleasure talking. Pleasure being with you.
yes, yes, Girish.
Yes, ma'am. So it's a very nice
Yes,
session, and I hope many students will get to know about the CRM, and they'll it might be a chance to know about the industry and all. Thank you, sir.
True,
It was
true.
nice
Please,
having you.
please. Only request from my end to everyone who is on this session, on this podcast, is if you're not aware, if you're aware, please go and try to search, learn more, and look out for opportunities. Connect with the people in the industry. Use LinkedIn. You connect with the people in the industry. Learn more. Do more trials. If you are not aware of things, this is a good day to go ahead and get started. Just go what it stands for you, how it would be useful for you, what is the market, how would what is the market demanding. Just type in some job sites and see their JDs, what they're demanding. How can we do that? So just get started. That's my thing for you. The Nike guys were right. Let's do it. That's what I say.
Nice one, sir. Yeah, sure.
All right.
So this is for the participants. Your feedback form is posted in the comment section, and you will get your e-certificates when you fill this feedback form. And thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
thanks a lot once again. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.